morning. Last night we arrived in Lovran, and behind me you can see the Adriatic Sea, and today we're heading over to Rijeka, which is just on the other side of the bay.
After waking up for a lovely breakfast at our hotel, we walked for 20 minutes or so to the nearby town of Lovran, where our lovely lecturer Susie showed us the sights, and we had a quick walk around for just under an hour or so, seeing the main church and the main square there. We then took about a half an hour coach journey to the city of Rijeka, where we went to the new museum in their old sugar palace. We got to write our name in their old language and learn all about the history of the city, including this first ever torpedo. It was set in a really grand building with some really nice artistic rooms, and also showed us the history of sugar making in the region. We had a go at cutting up some sugar ourselves. We then got some free time to explore Rijeka. In the afternoon, we had a group activity on the coast between Apatia and Lovran, where we were trying to observe anything we could find to do with water usage, vegetation or tourism in the region. It was a really nice walk, and we got to really experience the coastline ourselves, about 10 kilometres or so. We were hit by an enormous thunderstorm at one point, from which an amazing rainbow emerged afterwards, and then an incredible sunset, then walked back to the hotel for dinner.
In groups we explored water use features along the coastline, from tourist resorts and accommodation to water parks and swimming pools using high quantities of water. Next we're heading over to the old town. Here we had some free time to explore the old town and enjoy it on a nice sunny day.
On the Monday, we walked to the Tourism Management Faculty of the University of Rijeka, which was just past Lovran. We had a talk from the directors of the university before following them inside the grand building and getting a quick tour of their library. We learnt about the values and goals of the University of Rijeka before getting some nice refreshments, and then conducted our interviews with the tourism management students, asking about their perceptions of tourism's impact on water. Following a nice lunch overlooking the coast, we headed back to Rijeka, where we had a quick walk through the city centre to Hrvatska Vode, the Croatian water agency, where we had a talk about the water stress affecting the region, as well as a question and answer session.
On our way to the Istrian Water Company, we stopped off to look at the karst landscape, which is significant in water resource management. Our next stop was Zagreb, which we did a sediment catchment exercise of the Botaniga catchment area. We next got back onto the coach to travel to visit the water company. We started our visit having a talk about water management in Istrian, and then got to see how water is managed and the processes involved. And then in the evening, some of us decided to brave the cold Adriatic Sea.
On Wednesday, we got the coach up to Livan, a small village just above Lovran. We learnt about traditional water collecting techniques, including wells and cisterns in the area, before having a short walk uphill to this old kalak, which historically would have been the main water source in the village, used for agriculture and domestic purposes.
We travelled to the University of Rijeka to do our group projects. Each group was given a specific topic from what we had seen in the field over the past few days to explore and present on. We created posters that we then shared with the group. This element is assessed and is part of the final grade. After this was done, we had some free time and we explored the castle in Rijeka, and then that evening we had pizza and relaxed.
On Friday, we had to leave our hotel in Lovran and made our way on the coach to Zagreb, about a 2-hour journey. We had the whole afternoon free to explore the city centre as we liked, so walked into the city where we took the old funicular up to the old town. We visited the Museum of Broken Relationships in the old town, one of the cultural highlights of Zagreb, which was both really interesting and quite sad at the same time. I would definitely recommend a visit if you're in Zagreb. We then explored the rest of the sites, including this old square, before going out in the evening for some dinner and some drinks. The next morning I had off as my flight home was a little bit later, so headed to Zagreb Zoo, which had a whole range of animals, and for only €4 was a great way to use a few hours up in the morning. We then walked through this old market back to Zagreb city centre, where we visited the Botanic Gardens before getting on the bus to Zagreb airport.
After a day in Zagreb, we're now at Zagreb airport heading home. It's been a really wonderful 7 days and I'll definitely recommend this to other students.
Yeah, it's been a great week away. We've learned so much, we've done a lot of work, we've had a great time exploring Croatia, but I think we're all ready to go home now. It's been quite a tiring end of term, but fantastic week away.